Today we're going to dive deeper into the three competing axes of consumer decision making, which are valuation, emotional experience, and the social brain. But before we go any further, I want to make sure that proper credit is given where credit is due. This is not our work, our thoughts, or our conclusions, yet the work of Dr. David Eagleman. Valuation. How people make economic decisions has to do with context. In fact, David says the brain has no capacity to compare unlike items to make a decision. Basically, consumers prefer to compare a product with similar products before making their buying decision. Let's take a look at an example. A retailer was selling one single SKU of an item and saw sales of this SKU exponentially increase when they added a second SKU of that item. Why? The second SKU gave customers context and the ability to perceive which SKU had a greater value. David said valuation is not actually about price, but it is about the price and perceived value in relationship to similar items. David says emotions are the language of the brain, and we need to understand both reason and emotion when we analyze decision making. Emotions are a very powerful influencer in decision making. In fact, David said the reason we often see people answer one way on a survey and then do something completely different is due to the fact that the survey did not take into account the person's emotions. Our behavior as humans is influenced by many factors, most which aren't rational or conscious. As humans, we value what other people think, and our relationships are built on trust, integrity, and reputation. David says to the brain, companies are just like people. Breaches of trust travel quickly and are unable to be erased. On the other hand, brands that communicate with their customers and develop a social relationship with them foster brand loyalty. This is so powerful. I'd encourage you to embrace it, don't run from it. To wrap it up, David asked us to ask ourselves three questions. How are you establishing valuation? How are you speaking to emotions? And how are you cultivating social connections? I hope this was informative and helped you gain some insights into the three competing axes of consumer decision making.